Hello everyone and welcome back. In the last couple of lessons we went through the complete life cycle of the login NGRX action. We have seen here how to dispatch an action using the store dispatch method and an action class. We have also seen how to handle the action at the level of the store by implementing here a reducer in our authentication module. So if you remember, this is the reducer that we have just written together. Before going any further and to summarize what we have just learned, let's now quickly implement a second action. This is going to be the logout action. We are going to quickly implement in only one lesson everything the action, we are going to dispatch it, we are going to implement the reducer. So let's go ahead and start by defining our new action. This is going to be a second class similar to this one, the login class. So let's go ahead and copy paste it here. We are simply going to rename here the class to become the logout action class. And we are going to change here its type. We are going to make it the logout action type. Next, we are going to go ahead and remove here our constructor because the logout action does not have any payload associated with it. Now that we have here this new logout action class, we're going to go ahead and add it here to this of actions union type. Now that we have the logout action in place, let's go ahead and dispatch it. So if you remember, we are going to be dispatching here the logout action whenever we click here this logout button. So let's switch here to the component that contains this menu, which is the application component, and we're going to add here a click handler to this entry of the menu. Let's go ahead and say that on click, we are going to be calling the logout method. Let's go ahead and implement the logout method by dispatching the logout action. Let's start by injecting here on the constructor the store. As usual, we are going to define this as a store of application state. And with the store, we can now dispatch the logout action. So let's go ahead and call the dispatch method, and we're going to pass it a new instance of the logout action class that we have just created. Now we are dispatching this new action, but we are not yet handling it at the level of the store. In order to handle the logout action, we need to add here an extra clause to our reducer. So this is the authentication reducer that is handling currently the login action, but we need to add here an extra case clause for the logout action as well. Inside the logout action case clause, we are going to be defining here how will the logout action affect the state of the store. And the first thing that we are going to do is to set the logged in flag to false because the user has just logged out. Because we no longer have any user credentials, let's set here the user profile to undefined. And with our reducer implemented, we are ready to try out this new action. Let's switch over to a larger window and refresh our application. Once our application is up and running, we're going to go ahead and log in to the application and take a look. The logged in flag has been set from false to true as expected. Let's see now what happens if we log out from the application. We are going to click here the logout button, and as expected, the login flag is now false and the user is now set to undefined as expected. Now that we have implemented a couple of different actions, login and logout, and we have some initial state on the store, let's go ahead and see how can we consume state from the store using NGRX selectors. This is coming right up in the next few lessons.